how to make such conversation productive to talk about their future.
Please say that one more time.
Okay, so I received an invitation from my daughter's teacher. She asked me to have a presentation and talk with those middle school students about their future because she thought they feel lost. And it would be great to have adults who has such conversation experience. So I was wondering if I can have some suggestion to talk about the future with kids.
Okay. You say these are middle school students. So that's, what's the age range there on the middle school students?
At my daughter's age, so it's her classmates, and they are 12.
Okay. And how many students will be in your audience?
46.
How long do you get for the presentation?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. Just a minute. My microphone. Okay. All right. 30 minutes for the presentation. Okay. All right. 30 minutes for the presentation. Okay. So has your teacher given you any indication of what the students are concerned about in terms of their future?
The main problem would be have to share with them some experience about how to think about the future, because the children now feel lost. They have any concern about their study or their future. And at my age now, I don't know what I can make some meaningful ideas for them because we are not in the same level now.
Because of what?
I mean, I'm not at their age, and I was good at my study when I was at their age, so that confused me.
Sure. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm thinking about when I was that age. Of course, I was a little bit different because I tried to start thinking about my career when I was age 12, you know. So, I think one of the problems, especially in China, is you have an idea that you should know your future, exactly what it's going to look like from a very early age, you know, and you should
that's true. Exactly.
follow the plan, you know, you get the best grades and go into the best high school, and then get the best grades and go into the best university, you know, and then get the best grades and go into maybe go get a job with some big company, right? That's
so true.
Yeah, that's the idea of what success or your future should be in China. And it's a very, very restrictive and very narrow idea, you know.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of freedom to it, you know. And so so one thing you could point out is like, hey, that plan may work for about 1% of people, you know, but and it doesn't mean that you don't learn and enjoy things to learn in school, you know, but to focus on listening to your own heart and finding ways to learn for the joy of learning, you know, not sure there's you know, the system does sort of put some emphasis on grades, but hey, you know, there's so many examples of students who had poor grades, who when they got out into the world, they got jobs that they loved and they made good money at. So it doesn't mean good grades doesn't mean you don't get a good job either. But it can be either way. And so find a way to listen to your own heart now, enjoy what you're doing now, and have some trust that the future will open to you. But you can't necessarily know about it right now. But if you can enjoy the process now, and you can focus on enjoying learning, and as much as possible, if you find that you like something, and put your extra focus in finding ways to learn that and grow in that, to express yourself, because it's life is your playground, and we have more and more options than we ever did before. That sometimes the options are so big that creates a new problem of what to choose from so many great things,
Yeah.
And maybe you can give some stories. I don't know how many. I've heard some really pretty interesting stories from my Chinese friends who didn't go the traditional way, and yet they ended up often having a much more enjoyable, expressive life than the students who were just went according to the traditional expectation. And then you might talk a little bit about, like, hey, you probably have to choose some courage to do this, because your parents and teachers may not agree with what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so or here's a good example. So from my daughter, I could see that she's always feel negative. Negative, I mean, every day before she's doing her homework, she all told herself, "Oh, I don't have my brain. I have no idea how to do that homework. I don't like them." Or, "I hate my school. It looks so good, so bad, so old. I really enjoy other friends' school. They look so beautiful." So, or she always say, "Hey, oh, I don't think my class are strong because all my classmates look lazy or somewhat." So things her brain is full of some negative ideas, and I don't see a teenager's shape who should be active or feel positive about the future or the life. Do you think then they also good suggestion to move such idea from her brain?
Yeah. Well, we have this idea about positive and negative, like that there's,
yes.
like we say, this is a positive person, that's a negative person. But when I see somebody being what you call negative, they're actually trying to do something positive for themselves. Maybe they're not successful. I mean, with your daughter's complaints, it's like she's not finding a way to enjoy the process. She's not finding a way to play the game of making the future be different.
Yes.
And so that actually you can actually say, hey, yes, it doesn't look like. Doesn't seem like you know a way, but there almost always is a way. If you okay. First of all, your number one, sure, you care about other people and you care about looking good, and the whole school system, a lot of the school system is just about looking good, the parents are trying to look, the teachers trying to look good to the principal and the parents, and the children are trying to look good to the parents and the teachers, right? And and the whole system is about somehow forcing us to like using that looking good fear, to have us do what they think will somehow help them in the future. From what I've seen of most of school, I think the stuff I learned from grade 1 to grade 12, maybe about a year's worth was helpful. The rest of it, just in and out,
Yeah. So they cared about the test scores.
But as long as you're in the school, as long as you choose to be in school, then find a way to make it more fun, and be willing to maybe get a lower score in your grade. Yeah, I'm not sure the teacher's going to like your speech here, but I was very lucky. My mother never required I do homework, and she even had
you did so lucky.
Yeah, she even said children should have time to play, and
I don't have psychology.
and so I was generally able to make B's instead of A's, because I'm pretty smart. But I was, it wasn't a big deal to me too much if I made a B or a C, So, and I did a lot of other things, and I learned my heart, and there's so many people who go through, even they make good grades, and then they get out, but then they don't know what they love,
Wow.
And maybe they don't even like to read anymore because they associate reading with all the discomfort of those boring textbooks, right? Whereas fortunately, I've loved to read all my life, so I read about 45 minutes every day because I love learning that way, But
wow.
So maybe you can encourage them to get back in touch with the joy of learning, even if what they want to learn is not in the schools. With the internet and everything else nowadays, you can find just amazing materials to learn stuff that you love.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Well, I just realized that it's pretty difficult to communicate with teenagers.
Well, I haven't found that. It's usually, I don't know about you, Maria, but usually people who say that, it's because they think they have a right to tell the teenager how they should live their life. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And of course, the teenagers, they've gotten to the point that says, hey, even though they don't really know to say, to maybe take the action, but they know how to rebel, Like, don't tell me what to do, right? Your daughter's very good at that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, my daughter is
very
totally
good at
like that.
Because probably most of the time when you do try to speak to her, there's something in your voice or something you're saying like you should do this way or you shouldn't do this way, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that teenagers are hard to talk with, it's adults are hard to talk with. They don't know how to talk with teenagers, okay? Like to be on their side, not to let go of it. You think you have any right to tell them how to live their life,
Yeah, Yeah, so things like I'm trying to tell her to generate my experience with my thought that she could avoid of some difficulty during her growing up.
Yeah, yeah. So you want to protect her from the possible difficulties, right? Yeah.
Yes,
And she
yes,
and
true.
and she and she's not smart enough or competent
Do not
enough
care.
to take care of herself and make her own decisions, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're what they call the helicopter mom, you know? Yeah.
So yeah, so I could feel that most of Chinese parents are the same. But so I'd like to treat my daughter as a guest in this home because she's a teenager now. It's pretty difficult to do the communication between us and to avoid such conflict or to avoid fight in my family. I'd like to keep myself slow.
Yeah. So well, just one of the biggest there's one type of most courage involves taking some action, like the courage to say no or the courage to make a request. But there's one type of courage. I call it
Uh-huh.
the courage to keep your mouth shut. Okay.
Oh, keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. Because, as a parent, yeah, you have concerned about your daughter. Oh, if she doesn't do this way or if she does that way, she's not going to have a good future, So you're so scared, or you're
Yeah.
also maybe you're even scared that other parents will blame you because you don't make your daughter do a certain way, right? You know.
Yeah.
Uh, you're not like a looking good mother, that's very important in China that you be a looking good mother that's managed to somehow control their kids, right? A certain way.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we start. So the starting time is pretty short for only 3 years. They need to make a decision if they will go to the senior high school or the other way. So that make us pretty
沟通起来，
frustrated
沟通。
Yeah.
or
So,
worried a lot.
so for you, it's really going to be a choice of courage to keep your mouth
Yeah,
shut, and
yeah,
you say to
mouth shut.
yourself, oh, I don't think I should be terrible, and I'm not going to look like other parents. Yeah, yeah.
But the problem is, at that moment, I keep my mouth shut. But in the next day, this situation will come back.
那么闭上我的嘴。
Say what happened the next day? Say again.
I mean, I could do a good job on controlling myself to keep my mouth shut at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But is this to me, the problem is still there. We didn't
So what problem is still
solve it.
there? So what problem is still there that you think you have to fix?
Okay, so for example, every time the first things when a girl's home, she occupied my phone. And until our dinner's ready. I don't like that. I told her many times, but she couldn't change that.
So there's another issue here of you taking care of yourself, like to have boundaries with your daughter. I mean, if I don't know what she evidently doesn't have her own phone. Is that right?
She's not allowed to have a phone.
Yeah, but
Not
you
yet.
let her have your phone, so she has a phone. So what makes the difference? If you're going to let her have your phone, you might as well give her a phone. Then she doesn't take your phone.
If she has her own phone,
Yeah.
she'll spend all her time on that. Isn't that another problem?
But it's her life. It's her business.
Oh, it's her business. Okay.
I mean, you need to keep some boundaries, and maybe you can make some conditions that you can enforce, but don't try to have. When you try to control something you can't control, you almost always make it worse. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you may have some boundaries, you say. I mean, you could even say, well, if you don't do this, then this is the consequence, and as long as you're able to force it and you do it consistently, fine. Okay. But when you just
she's not keeping the condition. She's not keeping the rule.
well, but she didn't agree to the rule, did she?
No, so she always told me, "Hey, Mom, I only spent 10 minutes on the phone, and please remind me in 10 minutes." So after 10 minutes, and I'm going to remind her, it's time to stop it. She's angry. It's her business.
Okay, but you can't enforce that, right?
Yeah, I couldn't do anything.
And you keep believing her, and you give her the phone. So either you don't give her the phone at all, or you get her own phone, whatever. But don't set it up so that you have push and pull with her, and you feel like you're being abused. Make sure you're taking care of yourself with your daughter. Okay. And and it's between her and the teachers about the grades. It's not your business.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to take care of myself and let her business on her own. Well, I couldn't understand. She said the rules. She didn't keep the rules, and she left the problem to my side.
Yeah, but see, you're not interested in understanding.
No,
you blame her when she doesn't keep the rule, right?
yes.
Yeah. Instead of saying, hey, I noticed you said this before and you said this now. I'm really curious why you changed. I like to understand that,
I never do that.
Yeah. So when people say, I don't understand this, or I don't understand, or why don't they this, they're not really curious. That's just a way of trying to blame and control. Okay. And in a way, it doesn't matter. That's the way she does. I mean, you keep expecting her to change her behavior. So you keep repeating it,
Yeah. Yes.
We actually got into a bigger subject than we have time for here, and that's the whole issue of relationships with parents and children. It's an incredibly important area.
Yeah. I will go back to your website to find more insights.
Yeah, there's a book that's if you go to the books, there's a section of my website called Books That Have Made Me. And if you scroll down in that website, there's a book called, I think it's called Good Inside. Good Inside.
Good Inside. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a parenting book. Okay. And the premise of this book is, even though the behavior looks negative, from the parent's point of view, even though the child's behavior looks negative, ultimately the motive is positive, and the parent needs to look for that, look for that motivation. So I highly recommend. You can go back into the notes and then probably even get the book. It's a very good book called Good Inside. Okay.
Good. Thank you. I will definitely look it out.
Okay. Good. All right. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you for your time, Dwight.
Bye.